All right. Now, again, we're going to go down, and I'm going to do the odds for you. All right, we're going to do the odds. In the other class, we're going to do the evens so you can see everything. Now, again, most of the time, the difficulty arises in not the common denominator because you've been taught that in 5th and 6th grade, but when there are what? Positives and what? Negatives. Very difficult. All right? It's not difficult if you understand the rules for positives and negatives. All right? So again, let's talk about this. 1/15 plus 3/5. Now, here is how, because you have experience, here's how I would want you to think about this. All right? Everybody should be able to tell me the common denominator is what? What's the common denominator up here, guys? 15. Does everybody agree I could have said 30? Does everybody see I could have said 45 even? Right? And so on. But we want to pick the smallest one. That way it's easier. All right, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to go through each one of these, and we're going to kind of set it up the way I want you to. All right? So I'm going to do the first, then I'm going to get you guys involved, and I'll start asking you questions. All right, because this first couple questions should be just a review, because there aren't any positives and negatives. All right? So right off the bat, all right, we need a common denominator. Right? Now, please listen to what I'm saying. Here's how I want you to do it. All right? A little bit different than what you did in 5th and 6th grade. All right? Same process, but because you're wiser, you should be able to see what I'm doing. All right? The common denominator is what? 15. Now, for the first fraction, do I have to do anything to the first fraction? No, I don't. Does everybody agree with that? The second fraction, I need to do what? Multiply by 3. Now, here is what we're doing. Times 3 and times 3. Now, am I really expecting you to do that step? No, because you know that already. I'm just showing you for everybody who may have forgotten. All right, that's what I'm doing. So now I have 1/15 plus what? 9/15. Now remember, you're supposed to ask right away. You're supposed to ask right away if there's a problem with that. And now we just do what? Add them. Just like we did yesterday. Once you establish a common denominator, you can just add or subtract them. So 1/15 plus 9/15 now is 10/15. And then we never write a fraction if it can be reduced. And that can be reduced to what? To 2/3. All right, now just in case, divide by 5, divide by 5. But again, we've practiced reducing. I don't think that's an issue. Are we okay with that?
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. All right, so now let's take a look here at number 8. Or I'm sorry, number 3. All right, now we've introduced positives and negatives. All right, but really this isn't a negative, correct? This is just 7/8 what? Minus 2/7. That's the first thing I want you to do. I just want you to write it as 7/8. Now normally with fractions I like to stack them on top of each other, so it'd be minus 2/7. The reason why I do that, I just think it's easier to see. All right, does anybody have any questions with that? All right. Now, common denominator is what? Say, what is it? 56. All right? It's just 56. Now, I can multiply 8 times 7 and feel confident with that because 8 and 7 were said to be relatively prime. That means they have no common factors. If they have no common factors, you can just multiply them together. All right, and I'll review something that's not relatively prime and show you what I mean as far as that goes. But right now, does everybody understand? If you're ever unsure, you can always just multiply the two denominators together, and that will be a common denominator. It might not be the least common denominator, but it will be a common denominator. All right? So right now, with number 3, the common denominator is what? 56. So we're going to put a 56 and a 56. All right, now what do I have to multiply the first fraction by, Rivers?
The first fraction 53 by 7.
That's right. And I don't want you to put 7 over 7. I just want you to tell me that's going to make it what?
49.
49 over 56. All right, now somebody jump in on the second fraction. What do I have to multiply the second fraction by? Weber. By 8. So that means that fraction is going to become what? There you go. 16. Now am I adding or subtracting? Subtracting this time. Come on, guys. I think this is easy. Come on, everybody can work this. So now we just have to tell me what 49 minus 16 and which 49 minus 16, which is what? Help me. 49 minus 16. 33, guys. Come on, everybody's got to get involved. 33 over 56. Safe to say we can't reduce that? Yeah, because 33 is 3 times 11, and 3 doesn't go into 56, and 3 doesn't, or 11 doesn't go into 56. Yes?
Am I allowed to write like the odds on the left and it goes down?
Yeah, that's right. That's good. I'm happy with that. I just, it's easier for me to do this one. You're right. Just go right down the page. I don't care. It's much better to go down the page, guys. It's just really, don't try to save paper. All right? I know that sounds, some of you, you're environmentalists, whatever. All right? Go down the page. Go down the page. Math is important. All right? Super important. That's how you do it. All right? And give yourself space. Block letters. I don't have the neatest handwriting, but I think you can clearly see my answer up here. That's what I'm expecting on your paper. I want to be able to clearly see what you're doing. All right? So now skip a space, right? And now we're doing number 5. Now, here's where we start having lots of problems. Am I going to add them or am I going to subtract them? Tell me. You're still going to add them because they're both what?
Negative.
Because they're both negative. If you don't know that, we're in a little bit of trouble, right? Does anybody have any questions with that? Again, I want you to speak freely. So if you're not sure what I'm saying, speak up. All right? So here's how we're working this. We're saying negative 2 1/3 minus 7 1/2. That's how you should be setting it up. Now in your mind, they're both negative, so we're going to be doing what? Adding them. Is everybody correct with this? All right, Davis, what's the common denominator here? Yes. Shh. Now listen to me, buddy. Very important. Very simple. I'm going to blow it up just a little bit. This and this are called relatively prime. So to find a common denominator, I can just multiply those together. 6. That's it. Right? That's all it is. All right? And again, we'll get to something that's not relatively prime, and I'll show you how to do that. But right now, you look at the numbers. They're relatively prime. They have no common factors. So just multiply them. That is the common denominator. All right? So now, if I change this to 6, the numerator would be what? I want to hear Davis. Why? 3 times 2 is 6. Brilliant. Right? So if I multiply this by 2, what do I have to multiply at the top? So? Yes, 2 over 6. All right? So now what about the bottom? Yes, you.
Oh, the bottom you multiply 2 by 3.
Good. So I get
6, so 3 over 6.
exactly. Now am I adding those or subtracting them?
You are subtracting.
So what's my answer?
So the answer is
No. Now I need you to think for a second. Ready? You hear me? Let me talk to you now. Make sure you're hearing me. This is a what? This is a what? So am I adding them or see you're thinking ahead and I'm not asking you to think ahead. Just answer my question. One more time. The top is a what? The bottom is a? So do I add them or subtract them?
You add them.
You add them.
So it'd be 5 over 6.
Why is it 5? Shh.
Because 2 plus 3 is 5, so it'd be 5 over 6.
Yes, 5 over 6. And then what would the whole number be?
The whole number would be
9. Now you have to tell me, is it positive or negative?
positive.
If you owe your mom 3 and you owe your dad 2.
Oh, the negative.
Right. Now, this is what you should be going through your head as you're doing these problems. You got to think about it or you're going to mess them all up. That's what I'm saying. This is harder. You got to think about it or you're going to mess it all up. Every time. Negative 9 and 5, 6. That is the answer. What?
What I don't understand is that when I think -2 and -7 is -9.
That's correct. That's what I have on the board.
Why was it -5?
It is -5.
No, what does it equal 5? Because he said 7 minus 2 is 5. But there's
I'm not sure what you're asking me. There's a negative 9 here on the board.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Shh. Let him explain. I think I know what he means to. I'm trying to get him to teach him to explain. Go. What are you asking me?
So when I see -2 and -7,
Which is?
-9.
You're brilliant.
But then minus. Wait a minute. I said I know what I did. I just.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. Everything's good. Everything is good. All right, as long as you understand. Does anybody else have anything to say about that? And again, I want you to ask me the questions. Anybody? Everybody's happy with that? All right, here we go. Let's find 7 now. Yeah, it always should be vertical. Now, these fractions are kind of right next to each other. There's no whole number involved. So generally, if the whole number's not involved, I don't mind if you go across. But to me, I still say it's easier to do fractions, what? Vertically. All right? So Lily, tell me what's up on this one. All right, I'm going to write -1/4 minus 7/9. Can you tell me if those are relatively prime? That's right. They have no common factors. If they have no common factors, what can I do to the 4 and the 9? Just multiply. So the common denominator would be? Yes, ma'am. It would be 36. Okay. So what did I multiply the first fraction by? 9. So the numerator is going to be? That's correct. Now I like to go ahead and just put -9 there also. And what about the second fraction I'm multiplying by? So that's going to be negative what? You're awesome. -28. Now you have to tell me, are we adding or are we subtracting? So what would I get? Now remember what I tried to tell Davis back there too is, what is this number right here? And what's this number? So if they're both negative, do you add them or just subtract them? You add them. That's right. What type of 37? That's correct. -37 over 36. That's good. Yes, sir. Now remember what I want you to do. Listen to me for a second before you answer my question. What I want you to do is, I want you to look at my notes up on the board. Then I want you to compare them to your notes. And I want to see if you can figure out where you made your mistake. This is what I'm trying to teach you, William. You have good questions. But I want you to self-correct right now. And then if you can't see where you made your mistake, you need to say, hey, this is what I got. Why did you get a 9? Or this is what I got. Why did you get a 28? What?
I thought when you go to it prime, I thought you don't. Like, how do you times it? Right?
4 times 9.
I know, but that gives you 36. And then after that, would the top one still be 1/7?
Where are you getting a 1/7 from? I'm multiplying this fraction by 9. and I'm multiplying this fraction by 4.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Okay.
I ended up looking at different.
No, everything is good. That's why I write the note up there if you need it. What?
Is there like a specific reason why we don't make it into a mixed number?
Yes, it's much harder. Right? Much more difficult. Hopefully you feel like this is super easy this way.
Yeah. Wait, I just put it into a mixed number.
No, I don't want you to.
But
Remember, when you get to advanced math, that's the answer. Right? If you put -1 and 1/36, I'm total. Go ahead, put that down. I'm not going to mark it wrong because it's correct. Go ahead. All right, here we go. Let's try some more. 9. Okay. Now, Cece, are these relatively prime? Are 8 and 12 relatively prime? That's right. They are not relatively prime. If you do 8 times 12, you will get a common denominator, which is 96. But it's not the least. All right, so listen to what I'm saying. You're not always multiplying them together. If you can't figure out what the common denominator is, you can always just what? Multiply them together. But then you have a lot of reducing. All right, so can you tell me what the common denominator would be here? 24. Good job. So here we go. 24. So now I'm going to rewrite this 5/8 minus 7/12, and then we're going to put a 24 in here and a 24 here. So what do I multiply the first fraction by? 3, and so I get? Good. Then I multiply the second one by, and I get? Right? Is it okay if I put -14? So what's my answer? Yeah, you guys, I'm not sure why anybody has problems with fractions. All right, you should be feeling really good about that. William, are you okay with that?
Yeah,
And then listen to me, William. Again, I like what you're doing. You're correcting your mistakes. I keep telling you, slow down. Mr. Strickland back there, you're writing all this out, right? There's no answers. You're not allowed to just give me answers. No one is allowed to do that.
I actually added it.
That's okay. That's why I told you to take your time, double check, so you don't make those mistakes. All right, here we go. All right, these are starting where we get a little bit more challenging. All right, because we got whole numbers, we got mixed numbers. All right, Morgan, you ready?
Are we doing number 11?
Yes, I have on them. So tell me what to do here.
So
The first thing I look at is the double negatives.
yeah, so you would add it.
You just change it to plus. So here we go. 5 and 5/6 plus 2 and 1/4. Does anybody have any questions with that about why I've changed it to plus? Are these relatively prime? No. So the common denominator is?
12.
You're awesome. 12. So the top fraction becomes?
3.
How did you get 3?
Oh, oops, sorry.
Don't be oopsing. Go.
10.
10. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, the other one is 3.
the other one is 3. All right? So now when I add them together, what do I get?
7 and 13.
Okay, so now we have a little bit of problem because we're not allowed to do 13 over 12. That's going to be?
8 and 1 over 12.
You are amazing. 8 and 1 over 12. 8 and 1 over 12. Good? William,
So if you're doing that, if the answer says 24 over 7, you make it a mixed number?
if the final answer is 24 over 7, you can leave it as 24 over 7. You can't leave it as this answer right here because you can't have an improper with a mixed. You cannot have improper with mixed. You can have an improper, okay? And to me, it was easier to do what? Change 13 twelfths to 1 and 1 12 than it is to do 7 times 12 plus 13. But if you did 7 times 12, 84, 97 over 12, I would say that's okay. It's just to me, whatever's easier. All right, that's what we're going for. All right, let's find 13 now. Say that again.
I'm probably gonna run out of room, so.
Oh, 13 was a word problem. So we're doing 15 now. All right. How can you run out of room? We have a bunch of paper.
I just write
What?
I just write
Yeah, that's good. So I want you to have lots of paper. You should be
I do,
writing
I'm
big.
just saying all
Yeah, yeah. You're allowed to write big. All right. I don't want small. I want spread out so you don't make errors. That's why you made a good grade on your test. Oscar, your pencil problem. Go. Get it fixed. All right. So, again, I want everybody to look at this and say, I have a positive next to a negative, so that's just a what? That's just a negative. All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, get involved. So here we go. I'm going to rewrite that as 5/7 what?
Plus, minus.
Minus or plus, which one?
Minus.
Thank you. Good job. Minus 10 over 21. By the way, man, you are lucky. You have just one outstanding mom. We had a good conversation the other day. All right, you do. I'm glad you said that. All right, what do I do?
You just multiply by 3.
Multiply by 3, so that becomes,
7 minus.
that is, I'm with you, so that becomes a what?
That becomes 21, and the 5 becomes 15.
Good. 15 over 21. Do I have to do anything with the next fraction?
Nope.
Nope, so it's what?
So now it's 15 over 21 minus 10.
Which is what?
Which is 5 over 20.
You are outstanding. All right, guys. You should know now if you kind of understand it or not. Does everybody agree? You should kind of know that. All right, so let's continue. Let's find 17. All right. Miss Goss, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So first of all, the plus and the minus next to each other makes a what? Minus. So let's rewrite it. Negative 1/3 minus 10/11. So tell me a common denominator, kiddo.
11.
Now,
No. 33.
33. That is exactly correct. They're relatively prime, so we can just multiply. 33. All right, kiddo, tell me what do I do to the first fraction?
Multiply it by 11.
Yep, so that's going to be
11
good. And the bottom one?
30 over 33.
What type of 30?
Negative.
Yes. Okay. So now, negative 11 minus 30, what's that?
Negative 40.
Yes.
Negative 41.
Right, good job, kiddo. Negative 41 over 33. Negative 41 over 33. Feels good, doesn't it? Take your time. All right? No need to rush. There's no prize for first place. All right? 19. William. Yep. Here you go. What's common denominator?
Common denominator was 42.
You're awesome.
So, and then it's going to be minus. And then we do 1 times 7, that's 7.
Good.
And then you do 6,
Yes.
6 times 5,
Which is?
30.
What type of 30?
Anyway,
Positive or negative?
positive.
Well, isn't this right here? That could be considered a subtraction, right?
Yeah, I thought that was
But it's also, subtraction is the same as a what? Same as a negative. I just like to put it right here so I can see it, so I don't forget it.
Alright,
So now, what's the answer?
so it means 7 minus 30,
Which is?
negative 23.
You're awesome. That's a good job today. Negative 23 over 42. All right.
And but also, I have a question on number 17.
Good for you.
It's negative and negative. What do
So you add them.
Yeah,
Listen,
but-
what you're doing is you're thinking this. Negative times a negative is a positive. If you owe your mom 11 and you owe your dad 30, that means you owe.
Oh, 41.
There you go. Right? There you go. All right, good job, guys. Come on. 21. Mr. Danzig, let's hear you, buddy.
Okay, so
What's the common denominator?
it would be 30.
30. It is 30. Good job. 30.
So you have 10 over 30. And
Why 10 over 30?
Because 3, in order to get 30, you have to do 10 times 3. Oh, wait, no, so it'd be 9.
No, come on. Let's just relax. Everything's good. So it'd be what type of 9?
It would be negative,
Good.
and then another negative, it would be 2.
That's correct. That's very good. Correct. What do you got? Final answer.
So your answer would be 11 over 30.
Would it just be 11? You owe 9 and you owe 2. So you what?
So you owe
That's right. So what type of 11?
negative.
Yes. Agreed? Everybody happy with that? All right. Let's check out 25. Tremble, let's go. You give me a shot on 25. What's common denominator? Yes, sir. So what's the first fraction? Good. The second fraction? Good job. So now final answer? $11 and, oh, you're right. 11 and 13 over 10, beautiful. And then change that to what? 12 and 3 over 10. That's excellent work. Speaking up. You know?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's hear it, kiddo. What's the common denominator here?
6.
Good job. So do I have to change the first fraction? No. What's the next fraction?
1 times 3 by 2.
Good.
And then 6.
Good job. I know what you meant. Final answer.
7 over 6.
Wait a minute, are we adding or subtracting? You hear that? We're subtracting, right? So what do I get? 3 over 6. Relax. Yes, good. No, you're not. Trust me, I'll tell you if you're wrong. And then what can I do to 3, 6? That's right, to what?
1.
Exactly, 1/2. All right, 29. Okay, you haven't spoken anything today. Go. Oscar, 29. Come on, Oscar. That's not what we're doing. Put your paper on your desk. All right, come on. All right, get rid of your iPad. All right? You guys better not be doing anything on your iPad you're not supposed to be doing.
4 1 9.
Negative 4 and 1/9.
Negative 7 6 9.
Right, so you're getting the common denominator.
And it equals negative 11 7. 7.
So negative 11
7.
and 7/9. All right, come on, Oscar. Stay with me, buddy. I want you to maintain your A. Does it feel good? All right, maintain. All right, we're going to get to some harder ones. Yes, I want to take a look at, I want everybody to take a look at 32. All right, everybody's got to look at 32, please. All right, this is a little bit harder. All right, a little bit harder. First of all, am I going to add these or am I going to subtract them? Tell me. You're definitely going to subtract them. All right. Now, if you accidentally do this, please pay attention now because I'm trying to help you make sure you understand. That's going to be hard to subtract, right? Because you're going 5 minus 7. Does everybody agree? So I'd rather you put the what on the top. 7 goes on the top. All right, listen to what I'm saying, guys. We know we're subtracting. Oh, no, we're not.
No, we're adding.
We are adding. I was hoping. Thank you very much. I was hoping to find one that was harder. Let me find one. Yeah, this is the one I was talking about. I want to do 41. All right, let's go to 41. All right, let's go to 41. Put your hand down, Oscar. Manage. All right, 41. All right, now this is the one where negative 19 3/8 plus 4 3/4. All right. So common denominator here. Still 8, right? So I want to write this. Negative 19 3/8 plus 4 and what? 6/8. Okay, please now listen. If you want to be good at fractions, you've got to pay attention now. Are we adding or subtracting? Are we adding or subtracting? How do I know I'm subtracting? Because, yeah, one of them's negative, one of them's positive, so we have to subtract. Is everybody with me? Now, the biggest mistake kids make is they see a plus sign, so they say, what do? Add. No, that's not it. Just because it says plus doesn't mean you're adding. You have to keep in mind what the other one is. And the other one is what? Negative. So if you have a positive and negative, what do you have to do? Subtract them. All right? So now, is my ultimate answer, is it going to be positive or is it going to be negative? It's going to be negative. Now I'm asking you to subtract 3/8 minus 6/8. Can I do that? No. So what do we have to do? Who remembers what the term is? We have to do what? We have to do what from the 19? Very good. We borrow from the 19. All right, so I cross out the 19 and make it a what? 18. Now, if I add 1, now everybody says it's 13, but is that what we're doing? What is it?
You add the whole number, you add it plus the denominator.
Okay, so what is that?
It would be 22.
No, you're close though. You're really close. You don't add the whole number and the denominator.
Oh wait, you take the 3 and make it 19.
No. So remember, you're adding 1. And if I add 1, here's the rule. You simply add the numerator and the denominator together. That was it. You were close. So what's 8 plus 3? 11. So this 3 crosses out and makes it 11. When you're borrowing, all right, you add 1. And when you add 1, it's the same as adding 8 over 8. And 8 over 8 plus 3 over 8 is 11 over 8. Now can I continue the subtraction? Yes. So what's 11 minus 6? Help. 11 minus 6. 5. What's the denominator? 18 minus 4. Now I have to go back and double check myself. Is it positive or is it negative? Negative. Come on, guys. 41. Super, super, super important. All right, we're going to do lots of extra practice on Thursday and Friday. All right? Anybody have any questions with that? What?
So are we going to learn something new tomorrow?
No, we're going to do more practicing fractions.
And then,
Lots of practice. You have to be good.
today and next week is going to be on the first.
Yeah, so today we're doing the odds. Tomorrow we're going to do, well, let me make sure. Today you're doing the evens for homework. All right, today you're doing the evens for homework. Tomorrow I'm going to give you another fraction worksheet. All right, yes.
So you had like 18, and then you wanted to add them together.
So whenever you're borrowing, you always add the numerator and denominator together, and that'll give you the new number. Okay? So let me see 43. Let's do 43, guys. All right. So you have to write this as negative 35 and 5/6 and negative 23 and what? 0.3 repeating is, which reduces to?
1/3.
Yes, ma'am. Very good. Thank you. Very, very important. Now I'm going to add these fractions or subtract these fractions. Oscar, good for you. You're going to add them. That is correct. Okay, so common denominator would be? Sorry, guys. I don't know why this keeps popping up. All right. What does it do? What's common denominator is? 6. So 1/3 becomes what? Help me, guys. 2 6, right? And then when you add them together, what do I get? Well, before I do that, it's what? Tell me, Louie. Yes, negative 58 and
7/6.
7/6. Okay? And now reverse, that becomes what?
59 and 1/6.
Negative 59 and 1/6. So let's look at 45. Let's look at 45. Austin, what? 45. What is 56 repeating? Do you remember?
Yeah, it's 56 over 99.
Thank you very much, buddy. That's very important. 56 over 99. Then this is plus, and that would be 12 and what? 0.1 repeating.
Oh, it's 9.
No,
No,
point.
9.
What type of 9? 1 over 9. Thank you very much.
Oh, wait, 9.
Yeah, if you knew the other one, you knew that. Okay. So common denominator here, guys, is just what?
99.
Thank you, Oscar. 24 and 56 over 99 plus 12 and what? 11 over 99. Oscar?
36.
And?
57.
And how much?
57.
How much? Are you having trouble with 56 plus 11?
Oh, 67. I had that same mistake.
67 over 99. Oh, that wasn't that hard, right? All right, if you know those rules, that was pretty easy. 45, 43, 41. Let's jump down to, let's just jump back up and finish this up. What time does the bell ring? 51, so
1 minute.
we have 1 minute. So listen, don't worry about the rest of the odds. Do the what? Do the evens, please. All right, do the evens. All right, it's kind of annoying. There's kind of a lot of homework, guys. Sorry. All right, I need you to be good at the fractions. All right, please check your answers. Check your answers. Great job today for the most part, guys. Great job. Great job.